Hello everyone and welcome to World of Darkness news. Right after Renegade Virtual Con, we are bringing you all of the announcements from that convention, as well as the updates about all of the products which are available to pre-order right now since the Renegade Virtual Con. We got Player's Guide, we got Lines Drawn in Blood, we got the new expansion for Vampire the Masquerade Rivals, and they make arise a lot of questions about what exactly is in these books, what exactly is in these products. Player's Guide being the one which has a lot of the community interest. There's a lot of questions about what exactly comes into that book. So today I hope to provide you a full overview of that, so you will be able to make a very informed pre-order, hopefully, and enjoy the book at your table. We're going to go through all of the announcements from Renegade Virtual Con, and then Hadi is going to join me for the Vamily Spotlight as usual. So without further ado, because we have a lot to cover today, let's jump in. Vampire the Masquerade Player's Guide is available on pre-order right now from Renegade side. You can go to Renegade store and check it out, depending, of course, on your location. Please make sure to check the store that you are from, so either US, Europe, or other locations which are available. If your location is not available, reach out to Renegade to ask about the availability in where you are. And yeah, this book is something that has been in production for a while now. We had a lot of iterations of Player's Guide, and finally we are ready with the full manuscript that is being laid out right now, and the book is going to be available to you soon, so you can pre-order it right now. And what exactly is Player's Guide and how to use that at your tables? All right, so let's get this covered. First of all, Vampire the Masquerade Player's Guide is, I know that we do use the name companion for something else in Vampire the Masquerade right now, but it's such a good name to describe what this book is to the core book. Player's Guide is a great companion or a complementary book to your core book, and with these two books you basically have everything you need at your table. If you want to, of course, have a basic Vampire the Masquerade campaign the chronicle that you want to run with just a storyteller as your first try and the players, core book is absolutely enough and you don't need anything more. If you want to expand your chronicle with everything that was included as new clans and some additional things from the other core source books, like Clothes of the Blood Gods, Chicago by Night, and the companion, of course, then Player's Guide is the book to go to. So basically, together with core book and Player's Guide, you'll be able to play all of the available clans that are in Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, and you will get a lot more in this book as well. So let's just go through a list of the things that this book contains. Some of these you might have heard about before. I will be giving you some more context and some more information about what to expect in the book and what is not going to be in the book as well. So first of all, clans. You will be able to have the full overview together with the disciplines reprinted from the source books of all of the clans which are not in the core book. So all of the source book clans, that is Banu Hakim, Ministry, La Sombra, Tsimitsi, Ravnos, Salubri, Hecata. I really hope that I haven't missed anything. But all of the source book clans which are not available in the core book are available in this book. Additionally, the disciplines for them are also going to be reprinted. So the disciplines from the companion, this is basically the book to go to if you want to finally have companion stuff on paper. So that's going to be included. Now, when it comes to the general player's helpers and player's guide, this book revisits all aspects of character and coterie creation and includes streamlined guidance for new and experienced players, which includes instant vampire section. So there's a big instant vampire section which has a lot of really fun ways of creating your characters for the table in a very immediate way. So you can basically just jump in, make a character using this fun stuff that the book like gives you in a like. If you like quizzes, if you like tarot, this is something that you might be into, like making instant vampires using a lot of variety of fun methods. There's also a lot of things about the coteries, but we're going to get to that in a bit. So when it comes to discipline powers, because there's a lot of questions about that. This book contains, can collect all the discipline powers from source books like Blood Sorcery Rituals, Fiend Blood Alchemy Formulae, from previously published sources outside of the Vampire rulebook, except for some few ones. There's not like a one-to-one all of the ones that you will be able to find in all of the additional books, like for example Trails of Ash and Bone, etc. Simply because we excluded some that are that require a lot of additional explanation in order to cover. So one that, for example, is missing from this book, just to give you a full overview, is Ex Nihilo, which is the Oblivion ceremony that allows you to go into the, like, beyond the shroud, go to the underworld. We think like this is one of the very specific ceremonies that requires a lot of information about what is beyond the shroud that you may get from Cult of the Blood Gods and from expansions to that book, and it's not going to be covered in that much detail here. So some of these discipline powers, which are a little bit more plot devices, basically, are taken out. But in exchange for that, we added over 40 new discipline powers. So I hope that this is going to be a good trade-off for just few of them, the previous ones missing. And so over 40 new discipline powers for all of the clans that you will be able to use. So one more thing that is not going to be in this book is we won't be reprinting the Sabbat disciplines, simply because it's a player's guide, and we want to make sure that this is a player's guide that is for the playable characters. So we won't be including the antagonist powers, and Sabbat is the antagonist book. So yeah. Again, reminder, just to like highlight this very, very strongly, most of the disciplines are going to be reprinted from the source books, over 14 new disciplines, some of them missing from the previous source books just because of the additional explanations or more of a plot device ways that they were used when it comes to the chronicles. Of course, you can still use them at your tables, like if you have the other books and if you want to use Ex Nihilo, do it. But some of these are just not here because they wouldn't be easily understandable to people who only have this book. Now, it also collects the additional predator types and adds 4 new ones. So we have the previous predator types from the source books. There's also one missing, and this is something that I want to say already, because some people may ask, why is this one not here? We decided not to include Road Killer in this book simply because we haven't seen a lot of usage of it among the community, and it's very similar to Alley Cats. So also very situational. Again, if you want to use it at your tables, please do. But we decided that we're going to replace it with 4 new predator types, which are probably more fitting to more of the tables. And that is going to be Grim Reaper, Montero, Pursuer, and Trapdoor. And I'm not going to say anything more except for the names, so you will have these just as a little teaser. So these are the ones that are going to be included here: Grim Reaper, Montero, Pursuer, and Trapdoor. We won't be including Road Killer in this book. So another thing that is going to be in Player's Guide is the new systems and advantages for coteries. So there's a lot of content in this book for coterie play. If you are playing with others and if you want to make sure that the group dynamics are going to be more interesting, we are providing a lot of more content. Coterie merits, clan coterie merits for each clan plus the Caitiff and Finnbloods, coterie flaws, and coterie domain traits. It also includes, interestingly, a coterie sheet. So not only the player sheets, which you probably are familiar with already, but there's also going to be a coterie sheet and a relationship map template for your usage. That's something that is going to be hopefully very useful at your tables. There's also going to be new merits and flaws, including Caitiff, merits and flaws, Finnblood, and Ghoul. So that's also something you can expect from this book. It offers alternative Bane for every single clan in the book. So if your clan has a Bane, you can possibly change it with the alternate Bane that this book presents. It's especially interesting for clans, I believe, that are very much associated with their Banes as for now. So for example, Nosferatu, right? Their Bane is kind of classic, and there is an alternate version in this book which might be very interesting to you. So there's going to be an alternate Bane for every single clan. If you think, like, for example, you want to play Toriator, but you are not really much feeling their Bane, you can choose an alternate one. There's a different one for Salubri as well. I know a lot of you are saying that Salubri may be a little bit too hard to play. I love my Salubri, I love the hard mode, but there is also a little bit of a different Bane in here if you want to mix and match. There's also a lot of guidelines and advice for non-traditional chronicles, something that we haven't been covering that much in the printed books, but we really want to give you more tools to do those non-traditional chronicles. Like, for example, All Thin Blood Chronicle, or Troop Style, Streaming Chronicle, Online Play, TikTok, Chronicles without a Storyteller. There's a lot of advice for these new styles of play in this book. There's a big chapter that covers variety of styles of play. There's also revised guidance for touchstones, memoriam, and projects, which is a pretty interesting way to expand the way you add additional things to your chronicles, which I feel like memoriam is one of my favorites that I haven't seen that much in use just yet in the fun chronicles that I've seen, and I would love to get to see more of that. And also, it revises and clarifies several rules and rule systems for kindred characters. You might see, for example, if you have a very keen eye for the rules, that some of the discipline powers get some clarifications. There are some things that gets, like, for example, different roles or something like that. So you can, of course, base still on the previous books if you have them at your table, but having a player's guide, you will have the updated, revised, and rules basically that are, for example, make some things a little bit clearer. So I hope that this is going to really help you out with your chronicles. I personally think that having 2 books at the table is amazing. As much as I love reading books, when I am playing at the TTRPG Chronicle, I just want to have the least possible content to share with my players so they can very quickly go through everything needed in order to play the game. And I feel like Player's Guide is going to give us just that, plus a lot of additional content. Please do let me know if you have more questions about the content from the Player's Guide. I will be having a Q&A session here live on stream if you're watching us on Twitch, and if you're watching us on YouTube, you can do that in the YouTube comments below, or as usual on our Discord, discord.gg/World of Darkness. Player's Guide is available for pre-order right now, so you can grab it on Renegade's site, and all of the pre-orders which I'm announcing today have a free PDF attached if you order the hardcover copy for the limited time. So if you are ordering the hardcover and if you only have a printed version, then do it now because you are gonna get the PDF for free. So yeah. I hope this gives you a lot more information about Player's Guide. And again, any questions, let me know. And as for now, I'm going to jump to other things because we have a lot more to talk about. And the second thing is Hunter the Reckoning Lines Drawn in Blood, which is also available in pre-order right now. The very first source book for Hunter the Reckoning, the system that is the second introduced IP to World of Darkness in 5th edition. Lines Drawn in Blood is a collection of 4 stories that can be either played separately as short chronicles for your players, or they can be combined together in a big, longer chronicle where you can explore all of these stories with the same group of hunters. It includes the stories called Pressure Test, Outsiders, Blur Their Lines, and Alone in the Dark. And when it comes to the description of them, just let me quote, "Ghostly incursions are far more than the weight of individual sorrow." And then, "The residents of a small town break an ancient pact and pay the price." And then, "Occult symbols at the murder scene drag hunters into a race against time." And finally, "Far from city lights, a nest of monsters pull the strings of a lonely northern town." Super interesting little snippets of these. I would love to give you some previews closer to the release, but when it comes to the general content, 4 pre-written stories, it's going to be a full-color hardcover book. Of course, the digital version is also available if you order the hardcover now. You get the PDF for free, and yeah, this is going to hopefully give you more stuff to use at your table. And speaking of your Hunter the Reckoning tables, Hunter the Reckoning Storyteller Screen Kit is also available in pre-order right now. It does feature a 4-panel Storyteller screen with the reference tables, with a lot of the helpers for the Storytellers in order to just gently go through the horrible things that you are preparing for your players. There is also a complete short story that is allows you to play using your Storyteller screen set in 1 or 2 sessions. So a very short kind of a story to get you started, and over 50 witnesses for your use to inspire you as a storyteller, basically to throw some more complications at your wonderful hunters. So yeah, this Storyteller screen looks gorgeous. It also uses a brand new art, which haven't been published in a Hunter Reckoning book before. So if you are a storyteller, if you want to go deeper into Hunter Reckoning, I recommend this one. And also one more thing. And there is a token pack. So the premium token pack is basically a set of tokens that are measuring danger, desperation, and despair. And these 3 things, if you remember Hunter Garage, the chronicle which we've done last year, they are extremely important to measure on your table. I used in Tabletop Simulator a digital clock system in order to measure them. This is more sexy. I have to admit, like it's way more cool to look at the table. I feel like I will have to add these to the virtual Hunter Reckoning table in order for people to be able to use them too, because it's just nice to have them. So yeah, a digital token pack is available too. A physical token pack is also available for those of you who want to just get the full pack of Hunter Reckoning storytelling helpers. I recommend getting the Storyteller screen plus this. It's going to look nice on the table, you're going to look pro, and it's going to really help you measuring things. Of course, you can still measure danger, desperation, and despair by just having multiple colored dice, which is also a good way, but if you don't have as many dice, which is my problem, then you can use the tokens. And speaking of other releases, not exactly the TTRPG ones, Vampire the Masquerade Rivals also gets a new expansion that is called Justice and Mercy, and this one introduces clans Banu Hakim and Salubri. Now, I really recommend to watch the Renegade Virtual Con part where they are talking in depth about the mechanics of this one. There are usually also featuring some card previews and some more things about Rivals during their Vampire Wednesday streams. So I always recommend to watch this if you want to get more information from the designers of the game. I'm not the designer of the card games, but I'm always extremely in awe about the talent to balance the game among so many clans. And these ones are going to be interesting. I was very interested in how Salubri were described. Usually in Vampire the Masquerade Rivals, you play as multiple vampires. Depending on the kind of a deck you have, the decks do represent the TTRPG features of the clans. So for example, Toriator are all about swaying humans. You get a lot of humans from the table, you get them to your deck, and you are able to use them to drink from them, use them for your victory points, etc. As a Ventru, you command others. As a Malkavian, you have a lot of clairvoyance. You're able to see more than the other players, sometimes make them make chaotic decisions, which is also super interesting. While Salubri, interestingly, you only play as one vampire in a Salubri deck. So this is it might seem very dangerous, as killing all of your vampires means your failure in the game. But Salubri have this special power in Rivals where when you kill that one vampire, it gets replaced by another. So it seems like they might be immune to one of the, while being very open to the attack, they're also immune to one of the defeat conditions of Rivals. I'm super interested in how it's going to play in practice. Salubri is one of my favorite clans, so I'm very much looking forward to this. And of course, Banu Hakim, the judges, the executioners, who do dabble in diablerie, which is going to be also a very important mechanic for them in this game. I am looking forward to check out the test decks for this. If you want to know more about Rivals, check out more on the Renegade site and vampirecardgame.com, because they are organizing a lot of tournaments. There's a lot of events happening worldwide for Rivals, and maybe there's something happening in your local game store. And if not, maybe you can help organizing it, because they do have a system for the tournaments and the support of the local stores. So yeah, Justice and Mercy is also on the pre-order right now. And speaking of other non-vampiric things that you may be waiting for, Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition was announced to be playable at GenCon. Now, what does it mean, playable, you may wonder? Is it only going to be playable for people who are in person at GenCon, or what's going to happen there? So, to give you a full details on that, if you are in person on GenCon, there are going to be tables where you will be able to play the game and you will be able to play with others. If you are not on GenCon, we are very confident in Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition being available digitally during GenCon. We really hope for the physical edition to be available then too, but there's a lot of factors which may come in place, so it is possible that the physical prints of the books are going to be available a little bit later. But you will be able to play Werewolf the Apocalypse 5th edition early August, and I cannot wait for you to check this one out. This game is big. This book is going to be big. I believe over 400 pages, and a lot of ways for you to customize your perfect Wolfie and be able to rage as you wreak havoc upon your enemies. There's a lot of ways to do that in Werewolf, and I really hope to get a lot of awoos here from everyone, get a lot of howls. So yes, you can play in person at the tables on GenCon. Digital edition is going to be available during GenCon as well. We hope for physical, but we're going to update you on that soon, hopefully. And yeah, I wonder if we're going to show you some more previews in the future. I will leave that to your consideration, and do tune into more War Darkness news for more Werewolf news as we get closer to the release. And in the meantime, I will be joined by Harry to get through Vamily Spotlight. If you are watching us on Twitch, do wait for the Q&A to ask any questions you have about Player's Guide and more. Let's see if Harry is awaiting me in her secret haven right now. Specifically just poking out of her secret location. Hello, Harry.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Let me make sure that everyone can see you and hear you too.
Okay.
Perfect. How are you? And you look wonderful here on the coteries of New York Park Bench.
Yes. That's my, as you can't tell, these are my favorite backgrounds. I love to just switch between them.
They're absolutely beautiful. And also, like when you are sitting there, you do kind of look like you're waiting for our dear Kadir, I have to say.
I am always waiting for Kadir.
Let me tune into the board, and let's start from the top left. Who do we have here?
Oh, well, this is an absolutely gorgeous photo by, I'm going to say Nashar. Took the Book of Nod to Versailles. There's a story behind all of this. You'll find out later. A little hype never hurts. I wanted to see this magical place. I'm still so excited. We'll talk when I return. Which, I don't know. The Book of Nod, as you know, has so much influence in, certain things of Vampire the Masquerade. And I was just thinking like, oh my God, I live in Europe, right? As do you. Take the Book of Nod to the Palace of Versailles, take Beckett's Jihad Diary. And, I'm sure Beckett's been to Versailles a million times,
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was so cool. It's such a cool idea to take the Book of Nod there.
Honestly, I have to say that taking Book of Nod anywhere is such a power move. Like, people should do it more, because it's just such a cool thing to carry. You carry this weird book that looks very menacing.
Yeah, like I have it right down here, and I'm like, I should go, because Germany is full of castles and palaces. I'm like, I should go and just take pictures.
Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like I heard this from someone, that back in the days, back when the very first print run of Book of Nod was running, it was available in Hot Topic for a while. And apparently it was a very interesting way for people to get on board into Vampire the Masquerade, because
I can see it.
Among these like t-shirts and stuff, you suddenly find this a really creepy book, and you read it, and you get the history of vampires. It's so good.
Come on, I could totally see that. I can see that at Spencer's Gifts too.
Yes. Also,
same thing.
Just a gorgeous photo. Just looks so classy. Just
yeah,
so good.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
Wonderful. And going to Karam Zinova.
The neonate La Sombra. And of course, I love pictures of La Sombra. I love all the pictures of La Sombra, as you know. But this one really captured my attention because of the little crown.
Little crown. It's so cute. I gotta say, the guy looks like protagonist from Persona 5 when his life just didn't went as good as expected, and he gets turned into La Sombra, which is amazing. I want that kind of a story.
You bring up Persona so much to me. I still have no idea what it's about.
Oh my goodness.
Not a clue.
Play it one day. It's a great game. It's a mage game,
I have to let the public know that you talk about Persona a lot.
No, it's
They need to
fine.
know.
I feel like it scratches my mage itch, you know. Like I'm
Mhm.
still waiting for mage 5, and Persona kind of scratches that itch. So yeah, let's check out this TikTok duet.
With featuring also Andy Crimson,
No
of course, you
fucking
know,
way.
from
I'm not
LARPing.
working with this guy. I've been there, done
Hey,
that.
the minute he gets involved, you can kiss goodbye to any finesse because She-Hulk here only knows how to smash.
Yeah, Mr. Arson here only knows how to blow shit up.
The fact is...
And the fact is...
No offense.
Oh, no offense.
This guy's a real asshole.
Bruja and Bruja, I love that.
I'll start. I think you are a little bit quieter than me. If you
I'm
wanted to
quieter?
turn
Okay.
yourself up.
All right, I'm up. It's good. Should be good. Let's go to Hanazoria.
I did want to say something about that TikTok. What I liked
Yes.
about that is the idea of a Camarilla and an Anarch Bruja like having a beef. I think that's really funny. I love the concept.
Honestly, like I gotta say, like there's not much difference between Camarilla and Anarch Bruja. Like they may think there's a difference, but there's
That's
not
what
much.
exactly. That's exactly what I found so funny about it. So I'm glad we're on the same page.
This looks super cool, and yeah, I just I feel like we need more Bruja in general. Like Bruja being the very first clan introduced in most of the Vampire the Masquerade books, very often gets omitted. I feel like a lot of people play other clans than Bruja.
I don't think I've ever story told for someone playing a Bruja.
See, like we need more Bruja. I am playing a Finnblood who has a Bruja Bane. He's a child of a Bruja, and it's just such a good time. Like, I love playing a angry boy. You know?
Yeah, I have a bunch of Thin Bloods who have the Bruja Bane, so I got that. But straight up Brujas, no, I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, me neither. We need more Bruja in life. And can I just say I'm in love?
Okay, you can tell me that, sure.
I'm just like checking the ad from Hanazoria, and I cannot just take my eyes away from it. It's so beautiful.
Yes, this is. I'm sorry. Also, Clan La Sombra. I'm really not trying to play favorites, but gorgeous.
Sure.
So
Sure.
so beautiful, and of course, what always gets me is the inclusion of the little La Sombra aesthetic. So the little crown from the first one, and this one, the shadows going across the neck and the chest, just totally get me.
I'm not saying I have a type. I may have a type. This is just gorgeous, so beautiful. Like
It's like I have a type, but it's La Sombra.
Yeah, I mean, like the light coming from the background, the red on the edges, and the white eyes. This so creepy and beautiful. Love it, love it. Want to meet. Would completely not fall into the dark schemes that they try to put me through. Absolutely never.
So the next. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have a delay, like I've told you before.
Don't worry, I'm just making sounds because I'm so in love.
Yeah, but sometimes those sounds are words and I don't want to interrupt you.
All right.
I wanted to say that the next TikTok is Hikata, which I don't see enough Hikata TikToks, so I want to see more. So this is a call out for please give me more Hikata content.
Yes, let's check it out.
You're beautiful and capable of great things, like murder. Don't do that, though, unless it's completely necessary. You're beautiful.
I love this. The cute voice gets me so much. Hekata, yes, I know we do not have enough TikToks for them, and there is I feel there's a group of people that really like Hekata. A lot of them are like very much well versed in a lot of the books that we have, because like arguably for Hekata, to play Hekata you have to read the most possibly. So there is this like little bit of an onboarding issue in there. I really hope that Player's Guide is going to help with that, simply because it does offer us like very simplified, shortened description of Hekata, and also it does have a little revision of Hekata Bane. So for those of you who want to like get the new spin of the main Bane for Hekata as well as the alternate one, then you can check out Player's Guide for possibly getting this kind of a little bit more, friendly to play. Let's see.
And that's so funny that you say that, and maybe it is because I, am well versed in a lot of the lore and stuff. The Hekata is the clan I played the most as a player.
Yes, and I do see a lot of like when I play by post, like I see a lot of really great Hekata players, but it is very clear that they have just a very vast lore knowledge. Like I rarely ever meet a Hekata player who doesn't have that like super vast knowledge, and for example that it's their first clan pick. So yeah, I hope that Player's Guide is going to help that and to give you more opportunities to play Hekata with with new players.
Okay.
All right, let's say it's Sixers.
This is just, of course, beautiful. The Nosferatu. You know how I like my Nosferatu, bald
Everyone
with
does.
pointy ears.
Yes.
But this was just such a sad piece, and it says the sun doesn't scare me anymore, and that's always a thing where like, oh man, you know what that means.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so great. It might be a trope at this point, knowing in how many chronicles it's been used and how many vampire media it's been used, but I think it's so powerful that it will never ever become like a stale thing, like vampires meeting the sun, deciding that the eternity is not for them. Just such a powerful, very human thing too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also love the bone work, if I could say that without sounding weird.
Yes. No, it's great. I love the weird teeth, like some of them just like facing upwards, like being a little hooked. It's a gorgeous work, and the colors are not very often seen like this in a Nosferatu piece, so I appreciate that too.
See, that's why we need your perspective, because you're an actual artist, so you can say
No.
things like that. And I'm
False
just like,
things.
look, it's sad. Look, Nosferatu, look bald.
That's exactly what the impression should be, you know? It should be just, the first feeling. What do you feel when you look at this? Oh, I
Sad.
feel sad.
That's my simplistic take on all art, where I think it's all great and it gives me feelings.
It's greatly appreciated, and I think you have a very good eye to do. And now we have Rick Clemens with yes, let's go. Represent.
Yep, they tagged us in this. So getting back into Vampire the Masquerade, and I decided to represent with Gangrel and Anarch on either wrist.
I have to say, it was such an unreal feeling to be on Saturnalia and see so many people at once with vampire tattoos. It was like, I'm
that's
among
amazing.
my people, like it's my people.
I need to know. So you recently got a tattoo, right?
Yes, I did.
But I need to know, what is the Vampire the Masquerade tattoo that you're eventually going to get? Because we have talked about this before.
Yeah, I know, but I still don't know, honestly. Like,
Oh,
I feel
really?
like, yeah, that's why I'm not getting a Vampire the Masquerade tattoo, because I would have to like maybe decide on the clan, but I don't want to decide on the clan. I was thinking about the Ankh, but then it's too similar to the Camarilla Ankh, and I don't want to kind of like rep Camarilla.
And I think the Ankh for you is like you, because you're an artist. I think that's too basic for you. You need to something bigger.
Maybe so that's the thing. Like, I think if I would like, this is funny. So if I would have to blindly decide now, what do I tattoo on myself as Vampire the Masquerade, it would be salubri stuff. Like, so I would love to have something free-eyed. But that's the one thing. So my partner has we have one deal with each other when it comes to my tattoos. I can tattoo anything on myself at any time, but it cannot be eyes, because he's freaked out by eyes on his skin. So I cannot tattoo salubri.
I love that.
So yeah, that's one thing, I cannot do. So I don't know, like maybe one day I'm going to do something. I have to admit, one of my favorite symbols always for vampire in the previous edition and the new one is Tremere. But I don't know if I should. Like,
no, you got to do it now. You said it. You got to do
Yeah.
it now.
Maybe one day.
For me, always it would be the Nosferatu, just because it's so that's crying mask is so excellent, classic.
It is. I feel like one day I'm gonna do something, but it has to be an informed decision.
One day I'm gonna do something.
One day. And now a character sheet. Look at this. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So I know. I knew your immediate reaction. This is over on Reddit. On my Node Joe. And I thought this was the coolest thing in the world, and I could totally see you doing this because you can do art and you have this sort of eye. I could see you doing this for your characters.
No, don't tempt me. No, I want to do this. No. No, but this is so good because it's basically very similar to how concept arts very often look for books and, TV shows, animations, video games. Like, you have a character from like two texts, sometimes have a portrait, the full body, and the items showed nearby. So this gives you a full overview on the character, which can be then used somewhere. And to be able to do something like this for your chronicle, it's just such a talent and such an amazing stuff. It's great.
And Elstar's like, damn it, add it to the to-do list. The never-ending to-do list that you have.
Never-ending, always changing. Like, yeah, it's not.
No, but I could seriously see you doing this for your play-by-post stuff.
Yeah, I would love to. I just don't know what kind of a weapon of choice would they have. Like my Finnblood's like the only thing he ever done that is like brutal was he threw a couch at someone. So I think
I think your weapon of
couch.
choice for your thin blood should be one of those paddle. No, I guess swan boats don't have paddles. I was going to say a boat paddle, but swan boats don't have paddles. So
No,
that doesn't
it
work.
was not the Finnblood, the Salubri actually
Okay,
was.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's
the Salubri drone has drowned on the swan boats. Yes, maybe. But I feel like it can be like the fact that it can be a scissors. It's such a cool thing. Just like maybe she's a hairdresser and she just uses her scissors to like cut hair and then stab people. Like that
Could
would
you
be
imagine how
fun.
intimidating it would be to have a Malkavian come up to you with a pair of intricate scissors?
Yeah,
I would be
honestly,
terrified.
it is a horror story brewing. It's great. All right, let's jump into. Okay, so I added these ones.
Yep, these are all yours.
Yes, so I started with this one. Bloodhunt is my favorite game at the moment, not gonna lie. Because, like, this is something that everyone does at some point in their lives when they play Bloodhunt. Everyone has to become a DJ at least
Yeah.
once.
This is an actual picture. This is actually Outstar. This is some alt account by Outstar because this is just Outstar playing
Yes,
Bloodhound.
sorry. Like, I'm the only person playing this game. Like, it's like I even have my hoodie today to represent.
Yeah, you do
But
that.
yeah, it's like honestly, it's an aspiration one day. Maybe one day we'll have RP servers a way to, like get more friends to the lobby, except for like the free basic that you can do normally. And you can just have a party, just play some music for Discord and like have someone DJing. That would be one can dream. So
keep
nice.
yeah, keep the dream alive.
I'm
Keep
keeping the
talking
dream
about
alive.
it.
So pretty. And this one made me absolutely scream.
Yes.
Yes. So Camden from the Malkavian clan by Bella Borgel.
Now this looks like no, I don't know. Okay. All right, now correct me if I'm wrong. I see a lot of Toreador represented as artists. I don't see enough Malkavian represented as artists, and clearly they're either a writer or that may be a brush. And I love that. I love the idea of Malkavian as artists.
Honestly, I feel like, 'cause, like back in the old lore, that's like legacy. But back in the days, it was kind of said that there was a rumors that the antediluvians of clan premier the Toreador and Malkavian. Sorry, Toreador and Malkavian,
Arakel
yes.
and Malkov were
Yes,
siblings. Yeah.
we're siblings, right? And I feel
Yep.
like there's a lot to it. I do feel like there's a lot of the similar vibe from clans. for some
Yes.
reason.
So I always got the idea that the Toreador were more of the critiques of artists and the Malkavians were the actual artistes, is how I always got the
Interesting.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, this is just such a beautiful, beautiful piece. The way the hand is drawn is just gorgeous. I love it.
Absolutely.
The freckles on the hands, like a little touch, so beautiful. Love it, love it. Makes me scream, and
Yeah.
it just like I can almost see this character move, like how this character would look like in other situations. Beautiful.
Yeah, you kind of want to see the character brought to life. Absolutely.
Yes. And a completely different note. You gotta check out this one from Six is a Party. It's
Yeah.
a Lunar New Year commission for Ventru Winston and his younger sister Helen, who is in no way a walking masquerade breach and growing threat to any who threaten her older brother. And the art is done by Kia Pant artists.
That's so cute. So I'm trying to figure out so Winston on the left is a Ventru.
Yes.
And why is Helen a walking masquerade breach?
So she's apparently a menace. So she's like
Oh, okay.
her sister, and she's a menace, and she does everything to protect her brother, and that probably can cause some very bestial displays of.
I
protectiveness.
understand. Oh my lord.
Yes,
That's
and
so
here they are,
adorable.
just cute as heck, and celebrating Lunar New Year. I love them so much.
That's so adorable. At first, I thought the rabbit was this. I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely a walking masquerade breach if his sister is a rabbit.
No, maybe she just ate that rabbit right after.
Oh
this
no! Don't
mistake.
say that. Don't say
That
that.
could have happened. And
No.
speaking of eating,
Segueing real smooth into the next picture. Speaking of eating.
I know, finger guns.
Okay, so I love this. Okay, I love this, and let me tell you. Are you ready? Here's why I'm going to tell you why. One, it's a K-tip and a Ventru. That pairing immediately makes me ship them. I don't know anything about them, But I love that because Ventru are so, the sort of stereotypical classic Ventru is like, has a pedigree and knows their sire and the grandsire and the grandsire sire, right? Camarilla stuff. And Caitiff, is sort of the complete opposite of that, where they have no idea, what makes up their blood, so to speak. Love this. I need to know the entire backstory. I need multiple pages of it, please.
It just feels like he is, the kind of a loose, free, and rebellious part of this relationship, and she is this more collected one, and they need each other, in order to.
Okay, see, you're right. No, well, which one is the Venture? The Steph is the Venture, right?
I think Steph is the Venture, yes, and Viggy
Yes.
is Katie.
So I love that even more. I love that even more because everybody loves a bad boy.
Yeah, everybody loves about Katie boy with tattoos. No, love them. They look awesome, and I want to know more about it.
Yeah, I need this fanfic up on AO3. Someone just send me a link.
There's so many.
Hadi Funchland on all socials.
Hadi, I checked AO3 recently. There are so many new fanfics.
Oh, I know. Oh, I totally don't check it like once a week. No, not me.
I haven't been there in a while, but there are like even coteries of New York fanfics. Like there's Kadir fanfics. Like
now that you know, I guess I can send them to you.
Yes. Folks, if you want to read Kadir fanfics, go to Archive of Your Own. There's a lot of
I have some really great LA by Night stuff to send you now that I know that you check out AO3.
Yes, no. AO3 is great. Like I love fun work and it's just so good. So yeah, I recommend Archive of Your Own if you want to read more. Actually,
absolutely.
Like if they are not too explicit, I guess we could maybe put them here at some point and get some eyes on them. Cool. Okay.
I will make a note.
Let's make a note. And now, okay, you can read this one.
Okay. This is from Anarcho Shanties or Sea Shanty Stan account, which I appreciate that right off the bat. Vampire the Masquerade campaign about the Camarilla pouring billions into green parties and the energy transition across the world because the Ventrus started tasting microplastics in their dinner. I love that. Someone write that down.
Yeah, like I feel like it was mentioned in one of the books. I don't remember which one, but it is like a big concern for vampire population out there what is going on with the world and whether their food is going to, exist in a few centuries from now on. So this is actually something that definitely Camarilla and other vampire parties and other vampire factions would probably try to influence somehow. Because like they kind of want to have food.
Yeah, sort of like anonymous or like what do they call it? Shell corporations donating money into green energy. I can see it.
Yeah, and like also there was, where have I seen it? I think it was a fan thing, or maybe it was in the book, where vampires started to fund the companies producing like healthy food and like good quality, like organic food.
I have not heard of this.
I've seen this somewhere. I don't remember where, but it was basically just so they can have better food themselves.
Okay, so I have a Boston Chronicle coming up, and I definitely got to make a note about that.
Cool.
Seems like something the Prince of Boston would do.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about that one. And a new idea for Vampire the Masquerade Flaw from Rainer Caniston.
Keep your shirt on. Check out my new dope look. Nothing can handle the Tuesday. That's amazing. That's amazing. Can't keep a shirt on? Why do I feel like this would fit one of your characters so well?
Yes, my thin blood. But also like it's very werewolf in a way. I feel like this is basically werewolf, but transported into Vampire the Masquerade because of course you can live your werewolf fantasy with vampire and your vampire fantasy with werewolf if you want to.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of this parody of Twilight. You remember there was like years ago.
Yes.
The biggest YouTube parody of Twilight, which had the scene where Jacob was like running outside of the house. It was Jacob, keep your shirt on. No.
Yep. Of course, I am a millennial. Of course, I know exactly what video you're talking about.
It's really good. Yeah.
Sorry.
Release this one on Storyteller's Vault. I'm gonna use this one. I want this on my character.
Okay, so you got to make a visual character sheet or like an artistic character sheet, and then you got to make sure that somehow they always get their shirt ruined.
Yes. I think
That's your two tasks.
a very good idea. All right. And I'm gonna let you talk about this wonderful LA by Night, New York by Night things.
Yes. So first we have Lixarial. They were feeling nostalgic about LA by Night, which who among us does not feel nostalgic about LA by Night?
Absolutely.
And of course, these are taken straight from sort of the cast photos that they show in the pause in every episode. And it says it's Jasper and Annabelle, and it says "Let's tell a vampire story." And I think it's so gorgeous, so beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, it just gives me all the nostalgia vibes, and I'm already sad.
Already time for a rewatch.
And I love this like sketch being right next to this beautiful photo. Like,
Yeah.
it works so good together.
I know, I thought so too. So claws and spells, aiming for Jasper from LA by Night still needs work, but not half bad. I think it's actually excellent.
It's excellent, and I love this hoodie, which is almost exact same as the one that Alex had on during the show. Yeah.
Tell me, look at these two pictures and tell me the smile and the look is not the same.
It is the same. It is great, and I
Nailed
honestly,
it.
if we ever have World of Darkness convention, I want to see some LA by Night cosplayers IRL.
Yes, please. Yes,
Like,
please.
I want to have pictures of everyone.
Yes, please.
And look at these gorgeous, gorgeous portraits.
Yes. So we featured one or two of these before as Talavaran was painting them or creating them, but now they have all four completely done. They finished with Coco, and so I have them out of order. I apologize for that.
Yep.
But we have Kiem, Coco, which again, it's not just because Coco's a La Sombra, but it's my favorite because of the oblivion tendrils there. Braun, which I think Braun looks absolutely fantastic. And I like that they drew him a little different than how Xander looks, because Braun is a Nosferatu and does have sort of those sharper edges with the Nosferatu makeup. So I love that. And it's a little bit of like a broken nose up here. And of course, Kalita, who's absolutely gorgeous. Very classic Camarilla Ventura. And I think they're amazing, fantastic.
Yes, they are. I mean, the colors, the muted colors on everything in here.
Sorry.
Just don't worry.
My dog.
Baby. It's a baby.
Come here, baby.
Love these, and I love the color picks for each of them. I think they fit them wonderfully, and I love the subtle pinks on Kiem and on Kali that they look just
Yeah, and the green on Coco, I mean, just sends me absolutely perfect.
Yes, it does. And that will be it for our wonderful board, but I want to actually say something more because we do have two really cool updates from our community members who are making video games for you. So the Vampire Jam and World of Darkness Unbound crowd. I do again recommend everyone to check out the games from Vampire Jam and from in general the Unbound section that you can check out at worldofdarkness.io. We had two of the big major video game press outlets writing about Vampire Jam games this week, which is so nice. So they were featured, but also we had two updates from the developers of one of the winner game, Sunset Chronicles. They've published the blog in which they detail what they want to do next with their game. So you can go check out Sunset Chronicles on the Vampire Jam page and read more about that. And one of the games from the Jam, which was not awarded but was very close, like we talked about this one, which is Vampire Regicide, is actually also going on Unbound. And they also want to push more updates to the game, so it's going to be developed further. So do check out Regicide; it's already added to worldofdarkness.itch.io, and Sunset Chronicles also has some more updates that we're going to cover more in the future. If we're gonna have some screenshots, some cool stuff, then definitely we're gonna bring it here to the Vamily Spotlight. So,
I'm excited to play Regicide again. I'm excited to try and get a different ending.
Regicide was super fun. So,
it was fun, yeah.
They are developing more, and I cannot wait to see more. Like, remember, you don't have to wait for another Vampire Gem to make your dream Vampire the Masquerade or 100 Reckoning. You can do it anytime and release it on itch.io through the Unbound system that you can read about it more on our website. Thank you so much, Hari.
Thank
that was
you.
super nice, and I will be jumping out right now to do the Q&A for those who are watching us live on stream. I'll see you next week, okay?
Bye.
Bye. And that will be it for those of you who are watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on Twitch, do stay for a little bit of a Q&A as usual at the very end of the stream. See you next week.